longest term contract there is, happily ever after, and that is just what Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs has done to America's pop princess, Taylor Swift. Kelce, you go, son. He puts a ring on it. The interest in this is multi-generational. The opposite of being cut. When you give someone a ring and let them know that you want to spend the rest of your life with them. You're signing them to the longest term contract there is, happily ever after, and that is just what Travis Kelce of the Kansas City Chiefs has done to America's pop princess, Taylor Swift. And here you see the announcement going out on, I believe that is Instagram, Taylor Swift saying that your PE teacher has married your English teacher or is going to marry the English teacher. And that probably is a pretty good way of looking at it. Taylor Swift, who famously has had a lot of relationships, prominent public relationships, many of which have inspired her albums. And I think for a long time, people were looking at this relationship thinking, well, they're probably not going to make it to the altar, but here we are. Travis Kelce, you go, son. He puts a ring on it, and I had to reach out to my 17-year-old daughter, who is a Taylor Swift mega fan. We saw her at Soldier Field a couple of years ago because my daughter can tell you anything that you want to know about Taylor Swift. She's pretty much a historian, and so I sent her a text. She's a senior in high school, and she messaged me back and said that their teacher had broken the news here at the high school because they weren't allowed to have their phones out for class. So somebody got to be Walter Cronkite here at the local high school, breaking in and letting the kids know, because how could you not let the kids know? This is the biggest news story that there is, celebrity wedding. And, well, I'm a little bit of a historian myself on celebrity weddings, and it makes me think of a celebrity wedding that occurred back in the 1980s, and I certainly hope that this one works out better than that one. I speak, of course, of Ahmad Rashad and Felicia Ayers Allen, or was she Felicia, whatever, Debbie Allen's sister. You know her as Claire Huxtable. And there they are getting married. This is a real photo from Ahmad Rashad's wedding. You couldn't Photoshop something wilder than this. It is Felicia Ayers Allen, her sister Debbie standing with her. And of course, who is she being given away by? Serial rapist. The combustible Huxtable himself, Bill Cosby, Dr. Cosby, giving her away. And who was Ahmad Rashad's best man? Well, that's right. Disgraced double murderer, allegedly, O.J. If I Did It Simpson. And as we have said on the show, the ring bearer that day, I believe, was Jared from Subway. He's just out of, he was well, how else could you fuck this one up possibly? What could go wrong? Who could imagine that you wouldn't receive the Lord's rich blessing upon your marital union when you have Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson standing there with you? Couldn't have been a good omen. Maybe the original sports celebrity wedding, and maybe the greatest of all time, if we're going to be honest about it, is Joe DiMaggio and Marilyn Monroe. There's one that you take the most famous baseball player, one of the greatest New York Yankees of all time, of his era. It was Joe DiMaggio and Ted Williams, certainly, were the most famous baseball players. The 56-game hitting streak. But unfortunately, as the story goes, there were allegations that his hitting didn't end on the field. And that marriage did not work out. They ended up getting divorced. And here's the tweet. Back, some of you old heads will remember Joe DiMaggio pitching Mr. Coffee machines. And I said, I used to be married to Marilyn Monroe, but now the highlight of most of my days comes when I brew a cup of coffee with this piece of shit. Oh, how the mighty have fallen, Jody. But Marilyn Monroe and Joe DiMaggio certainly is on the epic list of famous people marrying each other. I hope for Travis and Taylor's sake that their union works out better than either of the ones that I have mentioned here today. And as I said, the interest in this is multi-generational. It's not just sports fans that are interested in it. It is obviously a lot of young people, particularly young ladies and young women around the country, such as my daughter, and in this case, such as producer Tim's daughter. Let's go to it right now and get the word right out of producer Tim's home on how the young people are viewing the engagement of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift.
Are you happy for Taylor?
Yeah.
Are you mad at him that the news came out on National Dog Day when she's a cat lover?
No, because you know what? I'm just happy she's engaged.
Is he good looking enough for her?
Sure, yeah.
Enough said. Should Travis allow any of her exes to go to the wedding?
Yes, Harry Styles.
Why?
Because Harry's such an icon in pop culture.
I don't know about that one. Does he need dance lessons before the wedding?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, he can't dance. How distracted do you think he will be?
I think he will be. I think he'll just be even worse now. So.
Right. He's going to drop some more balls?
Yeah.
What do you think about him putting on maybe some engagement pounds?
I think it's definitely a possibility, but I think he has to stay in shape for football.
Do they get divorced?
No.
What wedding song?
Probably Lover.
Oh, boy. All right. Wish him well.
That's a big question there. What's the wedding song going to be? Look, I like her answers, Tim. She's obviously plugged in on Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's relationship. But the one thing, Travis, we can't have any exes there. Harry Styles, you don't want Harry Styles in the building when you're marrying Taylor Swift. Tim, what's going on? What's going on with that piece of advice there? That's the only one that I'm going to take issue with from your lovely daughter there.
Doesn't like Taylor and women, so I think that's kind of why it's allowed.
He does wear a dress.
Yeah, he does wear a dress. They've come a long way, though, Ricky. Who could forget this picture from not too long ago? Good Lord.
Oh, man. Let me caption that photo for you. It goes something like this, based on every guy I've ever known in my life who looked like the Kelce brothers looked when they were at Cincinnati. It goes a little something like this. What the fuck are you looking at? Nerd.
So, Ricky,
What the fuck are you fucking looking at, you nerd?
Ricky, number 8 is marrying Taylor Swift, and number 60 was named the sexiest man in the world. Think about that.
How? Look, I mean, I got to pull for him, man. You know, the us common guys have got to root for one another here. But the Kelce brothers are living their best lives. There's no doubt about that. And well, now welcome to the program, a man who's always living his best life. He's Outkick's senior NFL writer, friend of the program, the great Armando Salguero joins me. And Armando, we were going to be talking about NFL cuts today. That was going to be the biggest part of our conversation. But now not only the NFL, but I guess all of American culture has been enraptured and engulfed by the buzzsaw that is the Travis Kelce Taylor Swift engagement. How do you think that this potentially affects things, if at all, for the Kansas City Chiefs and for Travis Kelce on the field this season?
Get off my lawn, Ricky. That's all I have to say about it. Get off my lawn. You're asking me about a tight end getting engaged to some top person, and you're interviewing your daughters. Get off my lawn.
We bring in now engagement and romance senior correspondent Armando Salguero to the program.
No, listen, you brought up a good point earlier. Travis Kelce, earlier this offseason, admitted that his attention waned last season because he started to see the end of his career and he started to pay more attention to acting. His words, bro, not mine. Acting and post-career and trying to set himself up for post-career. So that same guy who admitted that his football decreased in quality, in part because his post-football increased in, his priorities, is now telling us before the beginning of this season that he's getting engaged. Now, do men typically, when they get engaged, soon to be married, do their priorities and their focus on work and job sometimes wane? Yeah, they sometimes do. And so I would say to you that if you're thinking that Travis Kelce is going to be clear-eyed and super focused on his final NFL season, if indeed this is what it is, like everybody expects, on the same year that he got engaged to Taylor Swift, man, I've got a bridge to sell you in the Everglades somewhere that you should be very interested in.
Well, Armando, we know what he said we know last year averaged 8.5 yards a reception, which is a career low, 3 touchdowns, and in the eye test, he just didn't look quite like the same guy. And I think in the Super Bowl, he didn't look great, and so he said the right things. He told Pat McAfee, I'm going to try to get in the best shape I've been in this offseason, get back to the mountaintop. This left a real bad taste in my mouth with how I played in that last game and how I got the guys ready for battle. I can't go out like that. So is it possible that this guy, because the work either got put in or it didn't. We're starting the season next week. Is this a Travis Kelce who, this aside, and Armando, I recognize you can't put an engagement to Taylor Swift aside, and I think that's largely your point. But is he at least coming into this season in better shape and having done the right things in the offseason, which he admitted that he didn't do after the 2023 season?
Oh, yeah. He's done the physical things well. I'm not worried about the physical. I'm worried about, the emotional, the psychological, the mental. Bro, I don't know about you, but I've made a woman or two cry, and it changes you as far as, number one, you don't go to work clear-eyed because you get the big, and that's on your brain. And number two, you feel kind of bad about it. And number three, you're not always thinking right when the assignment at hand is in front of you. So that's the point that I'm making, So I look, I've been married 19 years. She's my second wife, and we're doing great. But I did have a first marriage, and that didn't go so good. And, she had a biblical name, Satan. And so that I can tell you that it turns things around when you report for work if things aren't great at home.
Oh, I can confirm that. We won't talk about my marital record, Armando. This is a good place for me to change the subject, which I assume that you would welcome at this point anyway. Let's listen to Ryan Clark here with some words that he had about Caleb Williams. We haven't talked about Caleb and the Bears in a while, Armando. Let's listen to Ryan Clark and get your reaction to this.
If Caleb Williams doesn't play well, he's going to get the Anthony Richardson treatment.
Really? Okay.
Next year, they're going to bring someone in to compete with Caleb Williams for the starting job. When I listen to Ben Johnson doesn't sound like a patient man. Ben Johnson sounds like a man who understands offense, who understands what good offense looks like, and who understands quarterback play. So for Caleb, it's going to be a situation where if he doesn't play well, if Ben Johnson doesn't feel comfortable with his progression, they're going to bring in the veteran. They're going to bring in someone who can play under center, who can run play action pass, who can execute the run game to the pass game and make things look similar the way we saw Jared Goff next year. And if he doesn't win that competition, it's going to be Caleb Williams having to go somewhere else to ply his trade, which I believe he could be successful doing because he's competitive, he's extremely intelligent, and he's also very talented.
All right, Armando, let's address the most egregious part of this first, which is the comparison, the invocation of Anthony Richardson, which is almost as insulting as Satan at this point. It's in itself, Armando, when you're talking about quarterback play in the NFL. That's kind of a low blow there from Ryan Clark because, as you can see, Clay Harbor tweeting out, statistically, Caleb Williams and Anthony Richardson don't reside in the same ballpark. But that aside, do you think there is anything to it? Obviously, Ben Johnson was not the coach when the organization drafted Caleb Williams. Do you think that there's any possibility that the Bears would be willing to look on from Caleb Williams? And how bad would things have to get this year for that to be a direction that the Bears might go in?
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the direction the Bears go in. But I wouldn't say that Ryan Clark is 100% wrong, because the idea that if a player, and more importantly, your franchise quarterback doesn't perform, you bring in competition the next year to, either step up or step out. That's not exactly brand new. That's what 100% of teams do. If a quarterback doesn't perform, if a center doesn't perform, if the backup safety is not performing, he's going to get next season a competition on his hands. It's as simple as that. The idea, however, that those two guys, Anthony Richardson and Caleb Williams, are in the same universe, much less the same ballpark, is ridiculous. Anthony Richardson, very talented, but lacks experience, lacks repetitions, and injury prone. So that's a bad combination, because you need to play, but you're injured. So that's a way out of the NFL. Caleb Williams needs to play within the Ben Johnson system. He's already played fairly well when things were horrible. Last year, he had a defense-minded coach. He had an offensive coordinator who was fired, then another guy who was kind of thrust into the role, also not doing all that great. Caleb Williams was studying tape on his own, like all the time, and the coaches weren't helping him. That's not going to be the case with Ben Johnson. I can tell you that. Ben Johnson is going to be very hands-on. And oh, by the way, Ben Johnson comes from the Lions. Did the Lions embrace Jared Goff immediately when he arrived? No, they didn't. He had to prove himself, and that guy had been to a Super Bowl. So do you think Ben Johnson is just going to, just because, embrace Caleb Williams? No, Caleb Williams has to prove himself, like 100% of the rest of the NFL, Ryan Clark.
Armando, there was a lot of talk in recent weeks about the Cleveland Browns, and are they really going to go with 4 quarterbacks? And is that realistic? Is Sheduer, was his position on the team on the line as he was making his second preseason appearance? Those questions have been answered with Kenny Pickett being traded to the Las Vegas Raiders for a 5th round draft pick. He's obviously going to be a Cleveland Brown. He's going to be their 3rd string quarterback behind Joe Flacco and Dylan Gabriel. I'm interested, Armando. What did you think of the limited looks that we got at Sheduer Sanders? We got a really positive looking one the first time out. The flaws were certainly a lot more evident the second time out. What do you think is the impression that Sheduer Sanders has made in his short time in Cleveland with all of this onus on him?
He's a good kid. He really is. And I know that a lot of people don't like him because of his dad and, you know, the brashness and the borderline entitlement at times, but he is a good kid. He has said all the right things. He has done all the work. But right now, he's not as good as Dylan Gabriel, which is the reason that Dylan Gabriel is the number 2 quarterback in Cleveland and Sheduer Sanders is number 3. And unless somebody gets hurt, it's not going to change. He is not the next man up, Sheduer Sanders. He's like, I guess he's the backup to the backup. If stuff, you know, there are people complaining about, well, you put him in with backups in the final preseason game. How do you expect them to succeed? Folks, I got news for you. If the season for the Cleveland Browns goes such that the starting quarterback, Joe Flacco, goes down, and the second string quarterback, Dylan Gabriel, goes down, trust me, the third stringer is not going to come in with a star-studded team and a great offensive line and great quarterback protection that got the other 2 guys hurt and, you know, just light it up. It's not going to happen. And so what I'd say to you about Sheduer Sanders is he was picked in the 5th round, and we're seeing why, and the Cleveland Browns are showing us why.
Armando, I want you to take a look at this tweet here. We're gonna at least mention on the way out the thing that probably would have been more of our focus today, if not for the romantic news that's going around. This is Ben DiNucci tweeting out after being quarterback cut by the Atlanta Falcons, if I'm not mistaken, said, "Not many beers are better than the airport. I just got cut from the NFL for the 7th time beer. Trust me, you wouldn't understand." Armando, there's a lot of blue-collar, fringe players, guys who give their guts and soul to the team, trying to prove themselves, veterans trying to hang on. There's a lot of guys that didn't make those final rosters today. Any thoughts that you have, any cuts that surprised you, just thoughts in general as a guy who has obviously been covering the NFL for decades, on what cut day means and just the effect that it has on people's lives, their families. And, you know, we watch this for entertainment, but there's a lot of people that are looking for a different gig after today.
Well, Ben DiNucci should understand that we do understand, because people out here in the real world, they get fired all the time, and not just for the 7th time. They get fired when they're in their 50s and they devoted 30 years to a company, and one day all of a sudden the company says, "Hey, pack up your box and you're out, and the key card doesn't work anymore," or "We're shutting down, we've sold the company, there's no room for you anymore." So we understand, Ben DiNucci, and we also root for you because we understand. We root for guys like Tyson Bagent, for example. He is from a speck on the map in West Virginia that has, I think, 19,000 people in it. He just signed a 2-year, $10 million extension, and he cried during his press conference the next day because it means now that for the first time in his entire family's life, they have money. His father did not have running water until he was in high school, living in West Virginia in the Appalachians. So we understand. Regular people, you know, maybe don't understand $350 million, $450 million contracts, but getting fired, having no money, and all of a sudden having some, you know, a couple of coins to rub together, we totally get it.
Well said. Well said, Armando. It's the truth. It's the blue-collar rank and file guys. If there are any that we can understand as sports fans in 2025, it would be those guys. All right, well, look, my friend, I appreciate You just flexed some different muscles today. I know that you're my NFL guy, but you're also my engagement breaking news guy as well. Always a pleasure having you on, buddy, and look forward to next time.
Thank you so much, Ricky. I'm going to go write my page 6 column now. I'll talk to you later.
There it is. Tabloid gossip specialist, as well as one of the greatest to write on the subject of the National Football League, the great Armando Salguero. And from one great man to another, it's my pleasure to welcome to the program now. He is the international streaming star joining me from Nashville, Tennessee. He is, of course, Ronnie T-Shirts. And Ronnie, this is one of those stories that comes across. You know that it is the story of the day. It's the story of the day for us. It's the story of the day for people that don't care about sports at all, because the worlds of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift have intersected in such a way that almost all of us fall subject to finding this story interesting on some level, just because of who these people are. What's your reaction to the engagement, and do you think this is something that's going to be a problem for Travis Kelce on the field or the Kansas City Chiefs as an organization?
Well, first of all, I love, so this just makes me very happy.
You do. They looked at the end of the end zone, Ron.
They did. They
love.
chose love. That's actually pretty good.
Yeah. The end zone messaging finally worked.
Listen, I listened to the interview on New Heights. Actually, just listened to it this weekend. She's really, really, really smart. She is funny. Like, Travis got himself a catch. Like, I'm sure she feels like she got herself a catch too. But from the very beginning, like, so many people are like, oh, this is fake. Oh, this is just, for their careers. And, I always thought, no, I think it looks pretty real to me. And it turns out that I was right. But I don't see why this is going to affect the Chiefs. I mean, they're used to it. They're used to her being around. They're used to her being on the camera all the time. Is he going to get asked some questions? Sure, he's going to get asked some questions. But I don't see, like, this isn't Travis's first go around with being in the spotlight. He'll be fine, and the Chiefs will be fine.
Yeah, I mean, all this is just the symbolism of the intention,
right?
That they're going to be together, and the ring on the finger, which is obviously important to them. But I don't think it really changes the overall dynamic of things. They're still celebrities, whether they got engaged or not. She's still going to be at some of the games, whether they got engaged or not. And maybe, just maybe, as a guy who maybe wants to put a moving ending on this, if he really is motivated by being disappointed in his performance last year, and he did not play up to his standards, if he really has busted his ass and he's ready to go out and he wants to go out giving a better representation of who he believes that he is, maybe having that engagement and a good woman behind him, maybe that just adds some fuel to it for him. If anything, I don't think it's going to be a negative at all. And I think actually, if anything, it might even give him a little mojo. So there's my contrarian point of view.
Listen, from what I've seen and what I've heard, he's in great shape. And I mean, what a way to end your career, right? Like, he's arguably without even thinking about it, Ricky, top 5 tight end of all time. I mean, he has to be up there.
Top of my head, it would be hard to imagine he's not a top 5 tight end all time.
Right. So he doesn't have anything to prove to anybody. I mean, he's going in the Hall of Fame. He's going to have an amazing, life and career afterwards. It appears. I mean, I think this is now just kind of personal, right? Like, I think his own pride. I think he goes out, has a great year, and rides off into the sunset with Taylor. Has a great life. His legacy's secured.
He's a Hall of Famer. He's got 3 Super Bowl rings. He got the girl. I mean, the reality is Travis Kelce's already won. Even if he comes out this season and lays an egg and shows further deterioration than he had last year, and this is his last year in the league, he's already won. We're only debating magnitudes
Correct.
victory here. So Ron, it's kind of ladies' day on the program in a sense, because Taylor Swift came in and just captured the A block of the show pretty much when she accepted Travis Kelce's proposal. Angel Reese, not to be left out of the news. Ron, I want you to take a look at this. She dropped this video. In fact, right after the Tay-Tay news came across. And here Angel is with some fashion, something or another, yada, yada. I think she's basically just selling merch. But I was thinking, Ron, maybe like whichever one of us loses should also have to wear that hat during the broadcast.
Is that like a cat hat or something?
Yeah, it's a cat hat, presumably available in Angel Reese's store. But I would encourage people to go to super70sportsstore.com instead, Ron, and check out our selection if you don't want to dress like Angel Reese. But if you do want to dress like Angel Reese, I suppose have at it. Now, I can tell you this, though, Ronnie, it's about time. This is from the category of it was inevitable, and now it has happened, Ron. Caitlin Clark is getting her own signature shoe. And I'm not sure what is taking so long. She is going to get her own Nike shoe. And more than that, Ron, she's getting her very own logo. And there it is. Her logo collection is going to feature t-shirts, hoodies, shorts, and pants for everybody, adults and children. Be available starting October the 1st. Her logo shirt will come out September the 1st. And her first signature shoe and her first apparel line will come out in 2026. But, Ron, you put logos on stuff.
That's what I do, Ricky.
It's what you do. You have fed your family, raised your child by putting logos on stuff. You take some nice vacations, too, because you were good at it. And you are good at it. You've seen a lot of logos. And I know you don't care if a logo's ugly or not, or if it's a great logo. You're happy to accept the business and print it on everything.
Yep. That being said,
what do you think of this logo?
So, Ricky, this is the second time this question has been asked of me because Tyler literally called me yesterday and she said, "Have you seen the new logo?" And I said, "I haven't. Can you text it to me?" So she texted it to me and I said, "Oh my gosh." I go, couple things. One, it's dizzying. And two, if I didn't know that it was for Caitlin Clark, I would have assumed, I guess I see a C in there, but I don't see, I wouldn't have known what it was for. Like the Tiger Woods logo, I absolutely, you can see the T and the W. The Jordan Jumpman, obvious what it is. We can go on. And this is just, I don't know, Ricky.
It's a fucking 0 out of 10.
It's dizzying. Like I can't even focus on it. It's so dizzying.
Well, you look at it, they're not two C's. The thing on the left is not really a C.
Well, there's a C in the middle. Enough. And then there's another C all the way to the right. It appears to be what they're trying to do, but
sometimes I wish I should have my friend Todd Radom on the show, who's done logos for professional sports teams, the Super Bowl logo. This is a miss for me. I guess any logo, once you get used to it, once people see it and you're trained to understand that, oh, that's Caitlin Clark's brand. But if you're going to go CC, I don't know how many guesses I would have needed. If you had just said to me, Ricky, what is this? It would have taken me a while to arrive on CC. It looks like an O. It looks like two O's.
Or maybe it's a C and an A, a C and a stylized A, or maybe it's a football in the middle there. I don't.
See, this isn't the conversation that they should want us to be having. Logos need to be a little cleaner than that. But anyway, Ron, speaking of ladies' night, oh, what a night. You remember that song?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, what
Wasn't
a
that
night. Late September back in
no, not that. No,
Different
not
one?
that, Ron.
A different
Yes,
one?
it's
No,
ladies'
not that
night.
one.
Oh,
When
ladies'
the
night. Oh,
feeling's
you
right.
said, "Oh, what a night!" Then.
Feelings right.
Ladies' night. Oh, what a night.
Oh, listen. There's
I
so
didn't.
many. Oh, what a
So
night.
look at you. I didn't figure you for a Four Seasons fan, Ron. We're learning things about
Sophisticated
you
mama.
even years. Look at this sweet bastard right here, Ron. This is Rod Temperton. And he wrote all of those songs that I have listed here. He wrote Thriller. He wrote Rock With You. He wrote Off the Wall, Yamo Be There, Little James Ingram and Michael McDonald, Boogie Nights, Ladies Night, Give Me the Night. He wrote a lot of songs about the night.
I was going to say, there's a
It's
theme.
an important theme for this guy. And he wrote Sweet Freedom, which is another fine Michael McDonald jam from the 1980s. It's quite a resume, and
You think he
would not
parlayed
have
that?
guessed.
Did he parlay that into some action, you think?
If he got laid at all, it was a win for him based on that photo.
Talking about undateable.
I mean, and he's well beyond 16 years of age there. I don't. Can you imagine when your pickup line, you're that guy, and you're trying to compensate with charm, and you're trying to compensate with humor, and all of that, right? He said, how many people do you think he sat down with? And he was like, yeah, you ever hear Michael Jackson's Thriller?
It's me.
You familiar with an album called Off the Wall? You ever hear Rock With You? Michael Jackson didn't write them. I wrote them. And then they throw a drink in his face and get out of here, creep. I mean, I don't think people would have believed that.
No.
There was he couldn't pull up Wikipedia.
No. Oh, and that
It
thin
confirmed
mustache is
that he
so
wrote it.
awful.
Well, God bless him. He's a legend. Super Sky Point, because those are some serious jams right there. Every one of those songs is a winner. As far as I'm concerned, Rock With You alone. Well, anyway, speaking of winners, there's a winner every day on this show, and I don't just mean you, dear viewer. I hope that you feel like you're winning. Head over to YouTube and sign up for the Ricky Cobb Show if you want to. In fact, please do, because we have our own YouTube channel now. That's right. We're moving on up. Just like George and Wheezy Jefferson. We're a year into this now, and by gosh, we've got our own channel. It is the Ricky Cobb Show. All you got to do is head to YouTube, look up the Ricky Cobb Show, click subscribe, and you're going to be locked and loaded for all the good stuff. We're going to be moving in archives of our greatest hits over here to it. If you're subscribed to us on the Outkick channel, you need to subscribe again. This is separate, so we want to be clear about that. We appreciate your subscription. If you're already subscribed to the existing link that we've had on Outkick over the course of the past year, but this is a separate one. So just to be clear, go sign up specifically for the Ricky Cobb Show, and you'll get everything that we post. You'll have the full episode every day, as well as some clips and shorts from each of the shows. And as time is moving forward, you'll start see us populating the channel with some of the greatest hits content, some of the best interviews, some of the funniest moments that we've had throughout the first year of the show. That'll be coming as well. So everything conveniently located in one place so that you can consume our content in a way that matches your life as seamlessly as possible. So I did want to say that. So hopefully you feel like you're winning when you watch the program. I feel like I'm winning because I get to talk to you sweet bastards, and I like to declare a winner every day, and it begins a little something like this when I say it's time for America's Poll of the Day, and let's go to it now. It's Super 70 Sports on X, where the Eagle flies high. And then the Eagle comes down, and it doesn't have an engagement ring for you, but it extends from its freedom talons 4 good things for you to consider and decide which one is the best of the good things. Sometimes Ronnie doesn't even think all of the things are good, but he's a tough audience. So let's see what we've got here today, folks. We'll begin with 1980s boxing. For many of us, boxing isn't what it used to be. I'm looking forward to the Canelo Alvarez Terrence Crawford fight that's going to be on Netflix next month. I've got a little money riding on that one. I'm excited to see a top quality bout on close to free TV, not on pay-per-view at least. So, but 80s boxing, for a lot of us, we grew up on it, and we think that that is kind of the standard of boxing if you are of a certain age. Skipping the line is the second choice. You know, we all been there. I'm not saying, you know, skipping the line is one of those that's good for me, not for thee kinds of things. We've all just sort of kind of just eased into a line and we're like, holy shit, I got away with that. Maybe at a concert, something like that. Third, we've got the Rubik's Cube, which was a huge craze when I was a kid, and I was never worth a damn at it. But I still had one and had fun futzing around with it. And then lastly, Marvin Gaye, the late soul legend himself. I heard it through the grapevine and so many other great songs. Ronnie, there you have your options on this Tuesday. Break it down for me as only you can.
Okay, so 80s boxing was absolutely awesome. Sugar Ray, Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns. Help me out with this.
Yeah.
My memory. I hate this when my memory gets a little choppy. So it probably would have been 1984, 85, like 85 or 86. Did Sugar Ray have a big fight in 85 or 86? I know he fought Hagler in 87.
85 was Hagler Hearns. That was the nuclear war. A lot of people think it's the most exciting, most explosive fight ever. It was I think 87 was when Sugar Ray beat Marvin. He beat him on the scorecards.
Yeah.
I thought Hagler won.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I vividly remember, Ricky. I mean, boxing was so big back then. And the house that I lived in college, we took the two couches in our living room, and we put the second couch up behind the first couch and like up on milk crates so we could have like tiered seating. And it was a big night at our house.
Nice.
We had about a 27-inch color TV, that probably weighed 6 tons. And the house was just full. We did the pay-per-view. Everybody chipped in whatever, $1. It was awesome. So 80s boxing is awesome, Ricky. Skipping the line, I would never skip a line. That's just not fair to the other people, Ricky. I'm not that kind of person. I like skipping the line. I like figuring out if I could skip the line.
Now you won me back. You almost made me feel guilty for a second there. I was kind of
Come
just
on,
like,
man.
well, geez.
Come on, man.
Man, what's your best skipping the line story? Because I have one. Maybe that's not a fair question to put you on the spot. Maybe you don't have a skipping the line story, but I have one.
Well, the best skipping the line story I had was it was after the Ohio State beat Miami in the national championship in 2003. I'm a very early to the airport guy, and I'm like, all right, we gotta get to the airport. Got there 2 hours early. We got there, dude. The line to get in through security must have been. It was, if it was 7 miles, it didn't matter. It was way too long for us ever to make it to our flight. We were never going to get in. And I found a sky cap, and I said, hey man, I never thought this would happen. I go, is there any way you could help me? He's like, yeah, come here. And he took us over to an abandoned little terminal, and he typed it all in, gave us our boarding passes. Boom. I handed him $20, told him thank you. So that's my best skipping the line story. What's yours?
Did you have a fistful of that Augusta National money, waving it around at sky caps?
Yep.
Who can get Ronnie T through quickly?
Yep.
Here's mine. I took my kids to see Paul McCartney at Miller Park. I guess it's American Family Field now in Milwaukee there, and the line was insane, bro. I don't even know how to explain to you how long it was. Like, it just went back out practically to where cars were. If any of you know the parking lot there in Milwaukee around that ballpark, it's massive anyway. And the line was, forget about it. You'd have been in line for I don't even know how long. We went up to the front, And we huddled over and I said, look, just keep talking. And we are just going to gradually move
morph into the line
so slow that we're going to morph into it. And so we morphed into it almost like it was just like an act of nature. And suddenly our conversation, we're in the line. And I remember saying like, holy shit, I think we actually got away with this. I mean, I can't even tell. I mean, had to skip like easily at minimum. It was 1,000 people in that line, or at least it looked like it to me. So that's my best skipping the line.
I like it. Now,
if somebody skips me in line, I'll be all salty about it.
We're gonna fight. Rubik's Cube.
Right.
Rubik's Cube. I've never even come remotely close to solving it, and so I mean, to me, it's more like a fidget spinner. It's just something to put in your hands and do this. But there's no chance I would ever. I mean, there's no chance I would ever.
Apparently, it's not that hard if you like learn the tricks. But I never bothered to learn the tricks. I never got more than one side.
Oh, I've never.
One side was all I ever got. Yeah,
never even done that.
You never even got one side, Ron.
No, dude, I give up on shit really easily. I'm like, this is dumb.
Your parents might have. They may should have held you back a year, Ron, if you couldn't get one side.
Sexual healing and the national anthem. That's enough to make Marvin Gaye a legend. So, I'm gonna go 80s boxing.
1983 NBA All-Star Game.
Yep.
Best national anthem.
Yeah.
Marvin Gaye. I think it was in Denver. I could be completely talking out my butt right now, Ron. But yes, that's the greatest national anthem I've ever heard.
80s boxing for me.
All right, let's bring in the one and only producer, Tim, here to straighten this matter out. Tim, you have heard Ronnie's analysis. Give us your own, my friend.
Hey. I'm a nerd. I don't skip lines, man. I get all uptight when people try to do it. I don't know. Those are good stories though, Ricky. Make sure your contact at the Brewers doesn't hear that one.
Hey Larry. Do you remember that from Impractical Jokers, Ron?
Yeah.
Hey Larry. They were trying to skip that way. I think they were. Yeah. I went past that area when I was in Manhattan, a time or two ago, Tim, and I just remembered, Hey Larry. I was like, oh my God, this is where Hey Larry happened.
Good one. Didn't know that.
Larry, them, by the way.
Larry. Marvin Gaye gave it some real thought there. Tragic ending. Good stuff, but didn't get my vote. 80s boxing, I guess I had to think about that one a little longer, it was pretty dope. I would give you that.
Oh
word.
My God, Tim, it was amazing.
Give you that word. But I don't know. I guess I associate too much of the 90s, but really it was the 80s, right? Hagler, Hearns, go down the list.
Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray.
Yeah. So I might have whiffed on this one, but I went with one. I did get one side, so I feel good about that. I'm going to go Rubik's Cube here. Good story behind it. Guy made billions doing it. I have been able to get one side. But have you guys seen the videos, the new speed Rubik's Cube competitions where
these kids can do it in like 8 seconds.
It's incredible.
It's disgusting.
Incredible.
And blindfolded. Blindfolded.
Totally blindfolded. Yeah. So I'm going Rubik's Cube. But Ricky, I think you're going to go 80s boxing.
I saw a guy solve one while juggling them. He solved multiple ones while juggling them and making moves while they were in his hands.
Yeah.
Is it helpful that I'm doing the juggling motion?
It is. Yeah. It is.
I didn't know what you were talking about, but I do because of the visual.
But did you guys try peeling the stickers off them?
See? There you go. What's
that? Try peeling the stickers off them and solving it that way?
Didn't care enough.
That would happen. Yeah. I'm aware of. I didn't do it, but I know of definitely people who did it.
This fall, you're not just watching the biggest game in college football.
You're at the game.
Bama versus Georgia.
September 27th, Athens.
Outkick's giving one lucky fan and a guest the VIP treatment
This is your shot
to punch your ticket to the college football weekend of a lifetime.
Flights, covered.
Hotel covered.
Game tickets, of course. We're also hooking up 10 more fans with Outkick hats, and everyone who enters gets a discount to the Outkick shop.
No purchase necessary.
Just hit outkick.com/sweepstakes.
College football weekend of a lifetime. Outkick.com/sweepstakes.
Yeah,
Well, I think you're going to be happy, Ricky. I think this is probably a 3 seed would be my guess. I don't know if you want to go through it or we could fire it here.
Well, I'm going to vote for 80s boxing.
Yeah,
myself.
Easy one. We could fire it. Yep.
As much as I like Marvin Gaye, he would be my second choice. But shout out to Marvin. But it's got to be 80s boxing. I grew up on that shit. I'd get Ring magazine every month, KO magazine every month.
Big Burt Sugar fan.
To the ass kicking.
Yes. Yeah, I got the Ring encyclopedia in 1980 or 81. That's how into boxing I was. I was
Did you ever hear interviews with Burt Sugar?
I would just go through. Yes.
He was fascinating.
Burt Sugar was great.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, Burt Sugar was awesome. 54%. 80s boxing 6 times more popular than the Rubik's Cube. Who would have thunk that?
Me?
Not I.
Me?
I'll tell you that.
Me?
80s. Well, speaking for you, Ron, Tim, we're into this program a bit here. Do we want to take a break?
Yeah, you can take it to a break, and we could just tease little Fox One action for you. A new streaming service here, Fox One.
Yeah, I think that's a fine idea. Let's do that. And as we head to break, Fox is proud to announce the release of a new streaming service, Fox One. On Fox One, you can stream your favorite live sports, including the NFL, college football, NASCAR, MLB postseason, and a lot more. The NFL season is right around the corner. I'm going to be catching the games on Fox One, that's for damn sure. And you can download the Fox One app very simply onto your device or onto your smart TV, and you're good to go. Fox One, we live for live, streaming now. So get after it, folks. You know what you need to do. And the other thing you need to do after you do that is stick around, because we're going to be back and we got some surprises in store. We're going to talk about the artists who have spent the most weeks at the top of the Billboard 200. And of course, I'm going to ask Ronnie the question I love to ask him. And there's a few other surprises in store as well. Don't you go anywhere. We'll be right back right here on The Ricky Cobb Show.
This fall, you're not just watching the biggest game in college football.
You're at the game.
Bama versus Georgia.
September 27th, Athens.
Outkick's giving one lucky fan and a guest a VIP treatment
This is your shot.
to punch your ticket to the college football weekend of a lifetime.
Flights covered.
Hotel covered.
Game tickets, of course.
We're also hooking up 10 more fans with Outkick hats, and everyone who enters gets a discount to the Outkick shop.
No purchase necessary.
Just hit outkick.com/sweepstakes.
College football weekend of a lifetime. Outkick.com/sweepstakes. I love this. RFK Jr. and Pete Hegseth. I like physical challenges. I like trying to see if I'm capable of doing something. Never going to dunk a basketball. Never going to run a 4.5 40. But I'm pretty good at push-ups. And I'm okay at pull-ups. And as 46-year-old dads go, some of you saw the video. I bench pressed 185 10 times. Adam, does that make me the strongest person at Outkick? Is there anybody that could bench press more than me at Outkick? I know it makes me certainly one of the strongest people in sports media, and certainly one of the strongest people in media. I don't think anybody at all at Outkick. We got 75 employees, whatever the heck it is now. I think this is kind of an indictment of the rest of the Outkick crew. Most of them are younger than me. In fact, I think of the people that are on it. Well, I guess Dakich is older than me. So I don't, well, somebody's saying they can beat me. I don't think that's true. But on the bench press, I don't think anybody can do 185 10 times. My weight, my body weight 10 times. It's hard to do pull-ups. So I think we've got a graphic here of RFK Jr., who said he works out in jeans and a belt because he told this to Jesse Waters last night, because he just got used to doing hikes and he would go straight into the gym. Still weird. I would not work out in the gym. But I said, this is great. It's really hard to do. Every morning. In fact, I did it this morning. Most mornings, before I do my radio show, before I do this show, I do 100 sit-ups, 100 push-ups, and 100 squats. Takes me 12, 13 minutes. I try to go fast, get my heart rate up a little bit. I'm very good at push-ups. I'm good at bench pressing. So their challenge was 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups in 5 minutes or less. That is crazy. I could easily do 100 push-ups in under 5 minutes. I think I could do 50 pull-ups in under 5 minutes. Doing them both together is absolutely bonkers level good fitness. And so I think do we have a video of these guys doing this that we can play for you? I'll challenge all of you. I'm going to try to do this in under 10 minutes. So I am this weekend going to try to do 100 push-ups and 50 pull-ups in under 10 minutes. And I will tell you whether I'm able to do that. I think that's a good challenge. And my thought is, some of you may have a different way that you're going to do it. I think the best way to do it is, and the challenge is also that you're going to spend time shifting, right? Ideally, you would be like, hey, I'm going to rep out 100 push-ups straight, and then I'm going to do 50 pull-ups straight, or vice versa, because then you don't have the change. But that's really hard to do. I think the way to do it is 5 pull-ups and 10 push-ups, and just cycle back and forth. So you would do 10 sets of each, and I think I could do 10 push-ups and 5 pull-ups in 1 minute.
And welcome back to the program here on a Tuesday in Chicago. And it's Taylor Swift Day. Not just on this program, but all across America. The news. Some people might not even have the news yet. Think about how much you envy them. Think back perhaps it was maybe just a couple of hours ago that you got the news, and just think of the joy that you felt pulsate throughout your body. And imagine that there's some poor bastard at work right now getting ready to go home, and his wife or his daughter is going to tell him, and he's going to fall to his knees in convulsions of happiness and joy. Our congratulations to Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. And we've got a little Taylor Swift bonus content for you today, because Morgan Wallen is at the top of the Billboard 200 right now. That is the albums chart. And he has been there now for 12 weeks total with his album, I'm the Problem, which Ron has maybe listened to. I don't know, Ron,
great
do you know
song.
any songs on?
Dude, I went to the concert. I went to his concert.
That's what I was thinking. See, I've still never really listened to him. I need to give him a chance, because right now I don't really get it. But that ups his career total of weeks spent at the top of the Billboard 200 albums chart at 41 overall. And that is 8th place all time. He just passed Adele. This chart was accurate as of 8 days ago, Ronnie. The artist with the most weeks at number 1 on the Billboard Top 200, Morgan Wallen, now breaking the tie that he had with Adele. That'll give her another song that she can write and complain about a man. And he's got a ways to go, however, to catch the folks at the very top, because the Beatles are just about a year ahead of Taylor Swift, although I got a feeling Taylor's not done yet.
She's dropping an album. She's dropping an album on October 3rd. She's dropping Life of a Showgirl.
You know it's going to go. You know it's going to go number 1.
Yep.
And you know that it's probably not going to be her last album that goes number 1.
Nope.
I don't see any diminishment of her popularity in sight.
No, she's going to pass the. She's going to pass the Beatles soon.
Past the Beatles. Yeah,
she's going to pass
another few albums.
Yep.
Probably will do it. Are there any names in there that surprise you? Like if we were going to play the game of guess, there's some artist in here that I would have guessed. I would have guessed Elvis would have been somewhere in the top 10, probably. I probably would have guessed that I actually probably would have guessed Mariah Carey. I'm surprised that she's not higher, even though her music isn't really my thing.
I'm surprised Michael Jackson's
Rolling
that low.
Stones, yeah, Michael Jackson.
But the Monkees, dude, the Monkees with 37 weeks, who would have thought that?
Garth Brooks ahead of Michael Jackson, that's a problem. Morgan Wallen, I'm the problem. I'm just like, that's a problem. And the Kingston Trio.
Well, dude, the Kingston Trio is
the Monkees.
Awesome.
Listen, bro, the Monkees aren't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I have taken it up almost as a Dale Murphy-like quest. I now tweet about this every several months. How the fuck are the Monkees not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? Dave Matthews Band is in there.
Ugh.
How are the Monkees not in there? They're letting everybody in nowadays, Ron. Chubby Checker is going in this year. Motherfucker had one song, and his other song was about the first song. Let's twist again.
That's so good.
It's just like, I got nothing. He's just like, you don't want to, I don't know. It's like, Chubby, can you come up with another song? He's like, I don't know. Fuck it. Like, do you think people will twist again like we did last summer? Will that work with like, it's like you got to hit, Hey Jude. It's like, hey again, Jude, by the Beatles.
Let me talk to you
a year
again.
later. Yeah, Jude, I've got one more thing, Jude. What are we doing here? But anyway, the Monkees clearly are over the threshold, in my opinion. And the Kingston Trio,
what's their best song? What's their top
acoustic
song?
Guitar. I don't know. Did they sing "Hang Down Your Head, Tom Dooley"? It's like a mighty wind.
And Harry Belafonte, Harry Belafonte, was that like from the 40s, 50s?
It goes back to 1956, apparently.
Oh, okay.
The list originated in 56. Belafonte and the Kingston Trio obviously got in there before people's taste in music got good. No offense. But Harry Belafonte, the only Harry Belafonte song I know is Day-O. Day-o, daylight come and me want to go home. The Banana Boat song, of all things, Ron. That's probably half the reason that he's on the list. But anyway, Taylor Swift, number 1 in Travis Kelce's heart. Number 2 on the all-time Billboard 200, weeks spent at number 1, at least for now. And Ronnie, I want to talk about some songs that didn't make the Billboard charts in 99% of cases, but songs that we love from television shows, theme songs. I don't think it's so much a thing now, Ron. We live in an era
Ricky,
where I think TV theme songs are.
There used to be albums.
It's not
actually. I
nearly
think
as
Lori
important
has one downstairs
today.
Yeah, I think we have one here.
Compilation album.
Yeah.
Welcome back. Welcome back. The theme from Welcome Back, Kotter, right? John Sebastian. That one was a hit.
Good Times.
There were two.
We've sang Good Times on here.
Oh, good Lord. WKRP in Cincinnati. Yep. I can still sing pretty much every word of that. The Barney Miller theme. Mm-hmm. That fucking bass.
Just funky.
Boom, 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 boom. And it's just like, dude, somebody took that assignment seriously and decided they were just going to make a great fucking song. There were 2 number 1 songs from what I can gather, although somebody needs to look and see if ChatGPT is bullshitting me, because it feels like Welcome Back, Kotter by John Sebastian went number 1 back in the 70s. But 2, and I remember both of these being popular, the theme from SWAT. Do you remember SWAT, Ron?
I mean, I remember the show. I remember the show, but I can't even come close to putting the song in my head.
It was an instrumental. It was an instrumental. It went number 1 on the Billboard charts in 1976. And I cannot do it, Ron. I've already gone a little too far with the singing in this episode. And the second one, 1985, the theme from Miami Vice.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Number 1 on the Billboard charts.
Wait, Friends was never number 1?
Well, I only asked about the 70s and the 80s.
Oh, okay. So, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
Oh, yeah,
Mike Post. Some people may not know this. Some people are going to know the name Mike Post, and if you know it, you're nodding knowingly right now as I talk about this. But Mike Post, he wrote the Miami Vice theme song. There are others. I'd have to look them all up, but he wrote this one. This was my choice, is my favorite, which is the theme from the Rockford Files, which went number 10 on the Billboard charts when it came out back in the 1970s. And then he also wrote, I believe, the WKRP and Cincinnati song, among a bunch of other ones. This guy was basically like the Paul McCartney of TV theme songs. And that's just what he did.
The Rod Templeton? The Rod Templeton?
He was the Rod Temperton. Yeah.
Temperton. Sorry.
The Rod Temperton.
Sorry, Rod.
Sorry. Can't even you're dissing his appearance. You can't even give him the dignity of his own last name, Ron. This poor son of a bitch. He's dead. He's not even here to defend himself. So I started this conversation earlier today with my choice, which is the Rockford Files theme, and I believe that I think we have some audience responses to this, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we don't, Ricky. Not this time. Failure to activate on this side.
Just as simple as that. All right. Well, hey, no problem.
But we need to do it again.
Why don't we?
No, hold on one second. We need to do this thing again because goddamn YouTube, we need to play some of these theme songs. So we'll just have to do a version that we edit out of YouTube. Unfortunately, we can't. Holy crap, you're right. The theme from SWAT. I forgot about that one.
Can you hum it? Or can you do it, Tim?
Yeah.
Oh God, no, Ron. As soon as you hear it, I mean,
okay, I'll do it at break on Spotify.
As soon as you hear it. It sounds a little bit like Chips. If you remember the Chips theme, Chips is what popped into mind for me. But good Lord, man, right? This is when, yesterday's theme, when we were a proper country, man, someone really nailed it. You're lucky to get a theme song now.
Lucky to get anything. And certainly you don't get ones that could actually be played on the radio and chart. It was an art form back in the 70s and the 80s in a way that it just doesn't seem like they prioritize it as much today. So yeah, maybe we can get together some of the best comments and revisit this either
Yeah,
tomorrow.
We'll play some music. We'll just
or
have to
later
edit
in
it
the
out
week.
tomorrow. But we're pushing YouTube this
Yeah.
week, as we know. We're pushing our new YouTube page. Which, by the way, I did just get a little alert here for your for one of your topics from yesterday. So the YouTube machine is working.
Well,
you know
good.
it well, right, Ronnie? Yeah.
I got
That's
it.
a
Yep,
good sign.
100% know that. I just know, if I would have heard it, I wouldn't have known it was Swap. But I of course know that song.
All right, Ronnie, let's talk a little bit of golf here. Tommy Fleetwood, of course, won the Tour Championship, and with that, he also won the FedEx Cup, which, again, he won the Tour Championship, and we're just calling it the FedEx Cup now, I think is basically what it amounts to. The Tour Championship has been the top 30 players for as long as I can remember, at least back to the 1990s. I'm almost certain. And so now it's just, it's a playoff. And, if you make the last 30 and you have one hot week, you can be the season-long champion, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But that said, Tommy Fleetwood seems like a really good guy. And certainly it was nice to see him finally get his first win. I've been pulling for him to get off the schneid for quite some time. And, kudos to him for that. But, Ron, what I didn't know, what I just learned today about Tommy Fleetwood, who is 34 years of age, Ron, is that his wife is 57. He has one of those, May, September romances. And Tommy Fleetwood's out there, his girlfriend's older than mine, Ron, which
His
makes
wife.
me feel temporarily young again.
Yeah, I can't imagine having sex with somebody that old. Ugh.
Oh my God.
Are you serious?
Lori
Oh my
is gonna
God.
love to. I'm gonna ask Tim to
Why I
cut.
said it. It's why I said it.
I'm gonna
Oh my
ask
God.
Tim to cut part of this episode, and we'll send it to Lori. Look, I mean, you never give away an age, but I know how old you are, so you
Same
and
as
Lori
me.
are in the vicinity.
She'll be 59 in November.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
No.
Well, there you go. And there's
No.
Tommy Fleetwood just grabbing a grandma.
Well,
Look at
hey,
him.
I'm gonna give you something about this story that's gonna make you go even like, whoa. He was 24 when they met. She was 47. Like, that's
Apparently,
crazy.
he pursued her, is what
That
I
is
gather.
Crazy.
Good for her.
Somebody likes them cougars. Tommy
Well.
Fleetwood, the Cougar Hunter, has got to be his new nickname.
And he's got a
FedEx
stepson
champion
that's
and-
his age. He has a stepson that's his age. That's crazy.
No, he doesn't. He
Uh,
doesn't. You're making
Tim.
that up, Ron.
Tim, please.
Pretty sure that was in the link. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was in the. Which is why she didn't really.
Stop it.
But
Yes,
so
Ricky.
she wasn't there. But according to page
They
6,
said that she.
not to harken back to Armando
They
here,
didn't
but
say that.
Yep.
They
a
said
book-
that she had 2 children. She had 2 children from a previous marriage, but they look like they were teenagers.
Can you find
the
out how?
photo
I
that I
swear
saw-
it's like 32.
I didn't see like a fucking dude with a beard standing there drinking a beer in the family photo. It would look like it was kids, like high school age kids that she had
Ricky.
from a previous, because they have a 7-year-old that
right,
she bore.
but she's 57. So if she had a kid when she was 25, he'd be 32 now. Like, I'm telling you.
Well, the math checks out, but like the kids I saw the picture of that were supposed to be his stepkids look much younger than that.
I don't know.
Just like if you follow the link that's in the rundown, Tim, and there's a picture of Tommy and his
they're not
wife
his
and the
age. They're not
kids.
his age. They're not his age, Ron. But
How old are they?
They're not his age.
See, I had heard 32. Not even the link. I heard it somewhere else.
It's too bad that we don't have the photo here, but no, it's not like a stepbrother situation when Tommy Fleetwood and his son-in-law are hanging out together.
It's not an OnlyFans. It's not an OnlyFans channel, but it's pretty bad.
Yeah, there you go. Well, look, love is, as Dan Dockich is fond of saying, love is love, man. Love is love. Tommy Fleetwood. They've got like it's the Belichick. He's the
opposite.
anti-Bill Belichick.
Yeah. It's the opposite.
Opposite of Bill Belichick. All right, Ron, the Ryder Cup is coming up in September. The United States here at Bethpage Black in New York. The United States will try to wrestle that cup back from the always feisty, camaraderie-driven Europeans. And Keegan Bradley is the captain of this team. As you know, Ron, we had vice captain Jim Furyk on the program a couple of months ago or so. And so the U.S. is obviously trying to prime themselves on American soil to get that Ryder Cup back. And Keegan Bradley is very likely going to be the first playing captain since Arnold Palmer in 1963. We saw where Keegan had a very good finish at the Tour Championship. He won only a short time ago on tour. He's in the top 12. I want you to look at the final U.S. Ryder Cup team rankings, Ron, as we consider who Keegan Bradley might select as his wild card options. The way that they do it now, Ron, is the top 6 players in the rankings are assured of a spot on the team, and the captain picks the other 6 players. It used to be fewer wild card selections, more automatic qualifiers. They changed that to try to have the option to go with players who are hotter, because obviously these points are acquired over a 2-year period. And if you had a very good 2024 season and a not so great 2025 season, you could still be in the top 12, hypothetically. So it's going to be Scotty Scheffler, who obviously this year won the British and the PGA. You've got J.J. Spahn, who won the U.S. Open. Xander Schauffele, who won last year the PGA and the British Open. Russell Henley and Harris English are locks. And Bryson DeChambeau, even though Live Tour golf events don't secure points for this, he also earned enough points to get an automatic bid. And I think Keegan would have taken him as a wild card even if he didn't. That leaves in the next 6 spots, not guaranteed of anything, Justin Thomas, Colin Morikawa, Ben Griffin, Maverick McNeely, of course, Keegan himself, and Brian Harman. So Keegan teasing that there may be some surprises. I think he said that there may be a couple of people who may think that they're going to get it, but they're not going to get it. So we'll see what happens, but I think almost certainly he's going to select himself. And I think that he feels entitled to do that, both because he is in the top 12 and you can certainly make a great argument on his play, and that members of the team already have been telling him that they want him to play, that they think that they have their best chance of winning if he actually is on the course playing. So, Ronnie, any thoughts on this? You want to play Johnny Golf today here?
Yeah, I don't see how he's not on there. I mean, it's also retribution for Zach Johnson not putting him on the team on the last one. So he has to put himself on this team.
Yeah, I think so too, and I think that's what's going to happen. Ronnie, we had a good temper tantrum in Major League Baseball last night. The St. Louis Cardinals' Wilson Contreras was called out on a strikeout and then got ejected by the home plate umpire. And upon getting ejected, took exception with that. He threw his bat. It actually hit one of the Cardinals coaches. And then when he got back to the dugout, he made his displeasure known by grabbing a giant tub of bubblegum and chucking it on the field, Ronnie. And there it is, bubblegum everywhere. Because this man was not going to stand for the injustice that happened to him with the call that home plate umpire made in ejecting him from the game. And it got me thinking about how it's dangerous when bubblegum's flying through the air. You might even lose an eye, Ronnie. As I reflect back on Bazooka Joe, motherfucker was 9 years old and had already lost an eye. You just wonder what kind of activities he was into that endangered
Ricky,
him to that extent.
He could have just had that lazy
Where were
eye
his
and then
parents?
put that patch over it.
God damn it. Well, there's a theory. Yeah, it turns out that when they took the photo for the Bazooka Rappers, he was going through his lazy eye adjustment phase, and now we all think that he was a fucking pirate.
He probably had those braces on his feet.
Oh my God. Bazooka Joe. Yeah, well, I don't recall braces from the comic strips as I would read them, Ron, but maybe I just didn't read closely enough. It wouldn't be the first obvious thing I've missed in my life, but one obvious thing that I never miss on this program is when I look at you, tilt my head slightly, and say, "What the fuck, Ron?"
All right, this one is for Tim. I hope I'm saying this correctly. The ornithophiles. This is for the ornithophiles out there. Ricky, that's bird lover. And since Tim's a bird lover, I figured he would know if I was pronouncing that correctly. Apple Valley High School, which is outside of Minneapolis, has a little bit of a problem at their football and soccer field. One of the things that everybody in the community, all the kids look forward to is Friday Night Lights. Well, Apple Valley's not going to be able to do that for the foreseeable future because a nest of ospreys have positioned themselves at the top of one of the lights. And you might say, well, just take the damn nest down. Who cares, right? Ospreys are a protected bird, both locally and nationally. So the soccer and football teams are going to have to play all their games during the day until
it's Wrigley Field now, motherfucker.
The birds leave by themselves.
What has happened, right?
Yeah.
Now you know how the Cubs felt until 1988, kids.
So they're sending a drone up there twice a week just to get a view because they can't remove it. They can't remove it. They've got to wait for them to naturally leave themselves. So who knows? This could be the whole season where these kids don't get to play any home games at night, which kind of sucks.
So how was your senior year? Well, it's a long story. We didn't play any home games.
Have you ever heard of an osprey?
Have you ever heard of them? They're protected.
Tim, do you know anything about ospreys?
Fishhawk, fishhawks.
This is where
Fishhawks, definitely. Yeah, they were endangered. They've come back in huge numbers. They usually arrive mid-March. Their asses should be out of there by mid-October, though, Ronnie.
All right. Well, we will monitor this.
Yeah, the fledglings should be gone by then. But they're a pretty nasty bird. But I don't know why wouldn't you just turn the lights on? Who gives a shit? Turn the lights on.
Because it would catch the nest on fire.
Are the lights that hot?
Fried chicken, Tim.
Of course the lights are that hot.
I guess if they're big halogens, yeah.
Yeah.
No
Tim's
LEDs.
wanting to open producer Tim's Roasters here. Kenny Rogers is gone, and Tim's going to take over.
Kind of like Burning Man. I love it.
Would just be delicious.
Burning Man, you say, Tim?
Good segue to Burning Man.
So, Ricky, do you know what Burning Man is? Because I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't really know what Burning Man was until I just looked it up this morning. Do you know what Burning Man actually is?
Isn't it young people with futures that don't look that great getting together, doing drugs and having sex and shit like that?
Not showering, I think. Yeah, not showering.
Yes.
It's Burning Man is an annual week-long event in the Black Rock Desert of Nevada where participants build a temporary city called Black Rock City focused on community, art, self-expression, and radical self-reliance. Bunch of Harris voters is my guess. Like a bunch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Or they're too high to even register, Ron.
That is true. Well, if they were going to vote. Supporters. We'll say supporters. Anyway, Ricky, the only reason I'm bringing this up, I got two things for you to look at. We're going to look at a video of a storm that just went through there. It was a sandstorm, and it was violent and crazy. And then I don't understand. There's nothing in the world that would be so good. Let's watch this. I don't know if you can hear, the wind is just whipping.
that God's way of just saying, go home, hipsters?
Absolutely.
Get rid of your nasty congregation of filth and bad music and go home.
This plays well. This next video plays well with one of the poll choices, skipping line. Is there anything in the entire world, Ricky, that you would wait in a traffic jam this long to see?
Oh my God. The Field of Dreams, they'll come, Ray. They'll come for reasons that they don't even understand.
There's nothing, literally nothing in the world that would be at the end of that line that would be worth waiting in that traffic jam.
And certainly not the shit show that this event probably is. Ronnie, with that being said, let's go to poll replies. It was no close contest today. The public demanding 1980s boxing as we all got nostalgic for Mike Tyson knocking motherfuckers out and Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvin Hagler, Thomas Hearns, Roberto Duran. I'm giving a shout out to Larry Holmes as well as one of the greats of the
Trevor
era.
Berbick?
Trevor Berbick as well, who was Muhammad Ali's last fight and got knocked into next year by Mike Tyson. Tony Z says, for the youngins out there, go to YouTube. Thank us on, what does that say? Yeah, thank us on 80s boxing. Yes. Start with Marvin Hagler and Thomas Hearns. And then from there, you will understand why we feel the way that we do. Captain Kangaroo Pimp says it's Marvin Gaye, but 80s boxing is a close second. Well, when you're the Captain Kangaroo Pimp, you're going to need a little Marvin Gaye to throw on. Let's get it on, Mr. Moose. Colin Reed says, isn't 1970s boxing the ultimate boxing? Hey, look, I'm not going to argue with you. I thought 80s would resonate a little bit better in this poll, but if you want to go back to the 1970s and say that the 70s was as good or better, there's a good argument for that. Certainly in the heavyweight division with George Foreman, Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, Ken Norton, those types of names. Dat20 says, I'm the nerd who voted Rubik's Cube. Rubik's Cube coming in below the Mendoza line today surprises me a little bit. And the Yacht Rock Playlist Consultant, one of our greatest living Americans, says 95% of all childbirths in 1983 can be traced back to this all-time bangers release. Perhaps all childbirths 9 months from now will be due to the contact high that men and women all over America have gotten today in their own love lives after seeing the blessed engagement of Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. Friends, if you enjoy what you've seen, and by God, even if you don't, do us a favor, head over to our YouTube channel, brand spanking new. It's the Ricky Cobb Show. And would a man with a Bucko Bruce helmet, over my shoulder and J.R. Reed on his desk ever steer you wrong? I think you know the answer to that. It would never happen. The Ricky Cobb Show channel on YouTube. Remember, if you are already subscribed through Outkick to our program, you're going to need to resubscribe to the new channel in order to get alerts and join the party with us. Come on, we're going to have a lot of fun on this channel. It's a big level up for our program. We are the modern day Jeffersons, and we want you to step up to that penthouse in the sky, the deluxe apartment with us, because it's no fun without you. My thanks today to Ronnie T-Shirts, to our friend Armando Salguero, to Molly and Adam in Nashville, to P.A. Jarrett, and of course to the best producer who does it, producer Tim. We also would like to thank the young lady who calls me Cobwater for chiming in and giving us the youth generation perspective on the Kelce Swift nuptials. Wouldn't it be great if she hyphenates? I hope she changes her name to Taylor Swift Kelce, just like Chris Everett Lloyd back in the days. Most of all, I thank you, you sweet bastards, because you're the reason we do this, and I love you. You can find us, as always, on outkick.com, Fox Nation, YouTube. We are in podcast form on Apple and Spotify. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and of course, you can find us on X, and you can also find me at Super 70 Sports on X, where I've been known to tweet and try to entertain you. Drop by and pay me a visit. It gets lonely when I don't see you. And most importantly of all, let's make a deal that we'll meet right back here tomorrow when we will tee it high and let it fly with another edition of The Ricky Cobb Show.
This fall, you're not just watching the biggest game in college football.
You're at the game.
Bama versus Georgia.
September 27, Athens.
Outkick's giving one lucky fan and a guest a VIP treatment
This is your shot.
to punch your ticket to the college football weekend of a lifetime.
Flights covered.
Hotel covered.
Game tickets, of course.
We're also hooking up 10 more fans with Outkick hats, and everyone who enters gets a discount to the Outkick shop.
No purchase necessary.
Just hit outkick.com/sweepstakes.
College football weekend of a lifetime. Outkick.com/sweepstakes.